When you think of Michael Jordan's greatest performance, which one comes to mind? The
I don't know.
shot on Elo to win the series against
Yeah.
the Cavs in '89? How about his iconic shrug game after hitting 6 threes in the first half
Flu game.
of the '92 finals? Or is it his legendary flu game against the Jazz in the '97 finals? I can go on forever. MJ owns a handful of the greatest performances in NBA history, but in my opinion, Game 6 of the 1998 finals against the Utah Jazz stands as his masterpiece. In a decade of complete and utter dominance, Jordan had a chance to do what no one has done in modern NBA history: capture a second three-peat and his 6th title in 8 years. But
That's crazy.
It wasn't gonna come easy. Despite being up 3-2 in the series, the pressure Jordan faced was suffocating. This was Chicago's last dance. Coach Phil Jackson was gone at the end of the season, and MJ's second retirement was looming. And to make matters worse, Scottie Pippen gets injured and leaves the court just minutes into Game 6.
What season was this?
Everything was on MJ's shoulders. In this one game, Michael Jordan has a chance to do the impossible and solidify himself as the greatest to ever do it.
Pull up. Hey,
The Chicago Bulls have won their 6th NBA championship, and it's their second three-peat.
It's been over a quarter century since MJ's historical Game 6. So much has happened in the NBA since. So to understand the importance, the stakes, the sheer magnitude of this game, we have to go back even further. A selfish scorer, just a dunker, the Pistons' punching bag, the guy with all the talent, but no rings. That was the label thrown onto Michael Jordan for the first 6 seasons of his NBA career, until he shattered the narrative. In 1991,
bro, y'all can't tell me that don't look like
his
Ant
NBA
Edwards, bro.
career, until he shattered the
That don't look like Ant. Come on, that gotta be his son, bro.
narrative. In 1991, Mike and the Bulls finally broke through, capturing his first championship and finals MVP against the team of the 80s. And it marked the start of a new age in the NBA, the Jordan era. In
Thanks.
'92, he proved that he wasn't just a one-hit wonder. He hit Portland with a shrug, back-to-back titles, back-to-back finals MVPs, and yet the man wanted more. In 1993, he did just that with his 3rd consecutive championship. A three-peat, if you will, a feat that Magic, Bird, Kareem, and many other greats weren't able to pull off. In fact, no team had won 3 straight championships since the Celtics in the 60s. Jordan was already cemented among the game's elite, and apparently, that was enough. At 30 years old, right smack in the middle of his prime, MJ retired from basketball for a multitude of reasons. And you probably know the story.
Yeah.
He leaves the game, plays baseball for a little while, gets the itch to return to basketball, and just like that, he's back. Or in Michael's words, he made his return late in the '95 season, but his supporting cast just wasn't the same. The Bulls lost in the second round to the Orlando Magic, and it set the stage for an incredible 1996 season. In his first full year back, MJ captured his 4th MVP as Chicago went 72-10, the greatest record in history at the time. And like he never left, Jordan was back on the mountaintop to capture his 4th ring. But to think the dude is satisfied would be crazy. In '97, he and the Bulls were poised for another run, and with a meeting against the Malone and Stockton-led Utah Jazz in the finals, MJ went into another dimension.
Here, pull up. Cash. Bro, sweating like my dad. Hey. Cash. Trey Ball. Who said Michael Jordan can't shoot threes? Cash. Michael Jordan, he just didn't need threes. He could shoot them. He didn't need them, though. Bro was bullying everybody.
An iconic buzzer beater to beat Utah in Game 1, and with the series tied at 2, the man entered Game 5 crippled by the flu, or food poisoning, and he still snapped. 38 points, 7 boards, 5 dimes, and 3 steals.
Hey, let me know if y'all watched that Last Dance documentary before. I might rewatch it. It's been like 5 years already since it came out, but it was such a great documentary. I might rewatch it.
In the win, he wasn't human. Jordan's greatness was truly unshakable now. Back-to-back titles, 5 in 7 years, and a 5th Finals MVP. The NBA was at MJ's mercy, and another three-peat was officially on the horizon. But it didn't come without some pressure. Riding high off their 5th championship, Jordan and the Bulls got a reality check. Prior to the start of the 98 season, GM Jerry Krause told Phil Jackson that he can go 82-0 and he still won't return as coach the following season. The reason? Well, it's due to Jerry's fascination in starting a rebuild right in the middle of a dynasty. Once the news broke.
Okay, I also need to rewatch the documentary because of this reason, because I think they went more in depth. If this was actually just a reason, that is insane. Fascination of rebuilding in the middle of a dynasty? Are you okay? What? Come on, Jerry.
Jordan made it clear that he won't play for anyone but Phil.
And the Michael Jordan said, if it's not Phil, I'm not playing. And you still double down. I don't understand. I don't understand Jerry. I don't.
At retirement, plus the fact that he was in the final year of his contract made it official. This was the last dance for the Bulls' dynasty. Like he has for most of his career, MJ used this as motivation. He averaged 28 points on the season and captured his 5th MVP. A great honor, but not the hardware he was looking for. In round 1 of the playoffs, the dude was scorching as he averaged 36 in a sweep over the Nets.
Oh my god.
And in round 2, Chicago.
I forgot that it was like first to 3 back then.
As he averaged 36
and 3 over 3 games is crazy.
And in round 2, Chicago flexed their dominance, manhandling the
Where are you
Hornets
going?
5 to set up an Eastern Conference Finals face-off against Reggie Miller and the Pacers. Chicago came out firing as they won games 1 and 2, but on the road in Indy, the Pacers answered in game 3.
Hey, Knicks fans, how you feeling? Like, how long it's been? Like 2 months later, after the playoffs. Just wondering.
And thanks to some late game heroics by Reggie Miller in game 4, this series is tied at 2. The Bulls would answer at home, and then Indiana did the same to force a do-or-die game 7. Just the
Wait, I'm tripping. Wait. I thought I went to 3. Okay. I don't know. It's late.
second such game during the Bulls' dynasty. But Jordan didn't flinch.
We're gonna win game 7. I never make promises. I don't make promises to my wife, but we will win game 7.
With the dynasty on the line, MJ stayed true to his word, pouring in 28 points to survive and keep the three-peat alive. Indiana pushed them to the edge, but their next opponent will be their greatest test, because they know them all too well. It was the rematch. Jordan and his Bulls up against a two-headed monster in Utah, motivated by what happened last season. And Game 1 made that clear. Despite a 33-point outburst from MJ, the Jazz managed to escape with a 3-point overtime win to get one step closer to revenge. But bad news for them, Jordan took that loss personally. In Game 2, the man lit Utah's building on fire with a 37-point nuke, including 13 of those in the fourth quarter, as the Bulls are headed back to Chicago with the series tied. And it was home sweet home in Game 3 as they embarrassed the Jazz in a 42-point massacre. Yes,
42?
the largest winning margin in NBA Finals history. And Chicago goes up
Still
2-1.
to this day?
With a chance to go up 3-1, Mike was electric once again with 34 points, including another double-digit fourth quarter. And for the second year in a row, they've put Utah on the brink of elimination. MJ can taste the champagne, but it would have to wait. Karl Malone was a wrecking ball in Game 5, smashing the Bulls for 39-9-5 in the win to avoid elimination, pushing the series back to Utah.
I'm not gonna lie. I don't think I've ever seen the Karl Malone highlight tape. Like, ever. My 19, almost 20 years of living.
For a Game 6. Jordan and the Bulls had
And I
a
don't think I watch one anytime soon, but I'm just saying.
golden opportunity to clinch the three-peat at home. Instead, they now face a daunting Game 6 and potential Game 7 on the road. The pressure was mounting. A Game 7 with an older, injured, worn-down Bulls team is not ideal. It had to end now. MJ has to get his 6th in 6. MJ and the Bulls are back in Utah looking to put an end to this series and cap off their dynasty with a 6th and final championship. And as if the pressure on Jordan wasn't already sky high, it hit its peak just minutes into Game 6. On the first play of the night, Pippen throws down a two-handed slam and immediately grimaces. Scottie had been dealing with a back issue throughout the series, and this dunk completely handicapped him, putting an even bigger burden on Jordan. At the 7-minute mark, the man announces his arrival with a patented fadeaway over Stockton for his first bucket of the game. And just a minute later, he extends his range out to the left wing, lacing a triple to put Chicago up 7. MJ was starting to get a feel for the game, but right as he was, it went south. Laboring with that back injury, Pippen heads back to the locker room at the 5-minute mark of the first quarter, officially leaving Jordan all by his lonesome. He'd finished the quarter with a hezzy pull-up in Brian Russell's grill to tie it at 22, but other than that, it wasn't very pretty. 8 points on 3 of 8 shooting, getting outplayed by Karl Malone, who had 12 at the end of the frame. And with Scottie Pippen still in the locker room to start the second quarter, Jordan had to turn it on, and I think he sensed it.
Jordan, daylight for 3.
Boom.
Jordan wheels inside around
Footwork.
Anderson. Michael springs free and takes the lob from Kukoc. Jordan for 3.
Not down.
And there's his answer. It was Russell's first basket. Here's Michael. He's got 21. Jordan's the guy they want, even more so than usual, and that's why.
Nasty footwork in the paint, a long-range triple, a lob at the cup, another 3 from the right wing, a tough jumper, and then another fadeaway to mark his 6th straight field goal made in this quarter. MJ was an inferno. Even at 35 years old, lacking some of the athleticism he used to have, the man was still able to take over games with his assassin-like shot making. But despite his sizzling 15-point second quarter to give him 23 at halftime, the Bulls still found themselves down 4. They needed a
they'll be
spark,
fine.
and at the beginning of the third quarter, they got just that. Pippen was back for the start of the period, but you can tell he wasn't 100%. The dude was gonna be a decoy out there. At the 8-minute mark of the third, Jordan swishes home a midi to get Chicago within 4. But that wasn't the talking point of the quarter. Just minutes later, tempers start to flare as Malone and Rodman get into some sort of wrestling match. And as that's going on, at the other end of the court, Brian Russell and MJ give each other a shot.
Love
Russell's
negativity.
pissed, but
Yes.
Mike is unfazed. He's got something in store for him a little bit later.
Jordan, open.
On the next possession, Michael goes right at Russell and loses him with a filthy shimmy into a
Good
right
shot.
shoulder fadeaway, and it's butter to put him up to 27 points on the night. But coming off his heater of a second quarter, the third was pretty underwhelming. Sitting at a solid 29 on the night, he put in just 6 in the frame on 2 for 6 shooting and 2 for 4 at the line. Fatigue seemed to be playing a serious factor. I mean, for context, the dude is in a deep postseason run for the 3rd straight season, and he hasn't missed a single game, regular season or playoffs, since he returned from retirement. The
I did
sheer
not
amount
know
of
that.
miles on his legs seem to be catching up to him. So, considering his fatigue and Scotty's injury, MJ can't allow this series to go 7. It has to end now. To start the 4th quarter, he drives and fades off the block for a wet jumper to put him up to 33 points. His reaction? Ice cold. It's time to kill. A couple minutes later, he knocks down 2 free throws to get within 1, and on the very next possession, he finds his sweet spot in the mid-range and fills up the cup to give Chicago the
Automatic.
lead, shooting his total up to 37 points. The clutch god was showing out. Then he disappeared. Midway through the quarter, MJ went cold, missing 3 straight field goals within a minute, all
Short.
of which were short. A
Short.
telltale sign
Yo,
that
I
the play-
promise I haven't seen this video yet. I'm just me and Post 2K are just like communicating telepathically.
player is fatigued since he can't get enough elevation on his jumper. This was worrisome. At the 3-minute mark, Mike launches a 3 and
Not
he's
down.
short yet again.
Ooh.
Utah comes back down and Malone flares for a wide open jumper to put the Jazz up 4 with 2 minutes to go. It looked like this one was slipping through the Bulls' hands. Jordan has to dig deep. Off the Malone bucket, MJ comes back and attacks the rim. Brian Russell fouls him, and he catches his breath at the free throw line as he drains both shots to get Chicago within 2. Moments later, he relentlessly attacks the rim again, gets fouled again, and as he shoots these massively clutch free throws with 59 seconds to go, Dennis Rodman is so confident that he's gonna make them that he turns away from the rim and is talking to fans as Michael laces them.
Ooh.
Game
Yo, am I tripping? And I've never seen that. Am I bugging? They didn't show this in The Last Dance. That is
so
crazy.
confident that he's gonna make them.
Bro was just like, nah, that's actually tough. That's aura. That's aura. That's aura. That's aura. I don't care. That's aura. That's fire. Yo.
That he turns away from the rim and is talking to fans as Michael laces.
Bro just walks away. He don't even.
The game is tied at 83.
Nah, that's
Jazz
so
make their way
tough.
down the court, and Stockton finds a weak spot in the defense. Karl Malone dots him out of the post. He lines up the seams and splashes a monster 3
shot.
to put Utah up with 41 seconds remaining. A heart stopper. Chicago calls timeout, and a game 7 is less than a minute away. It was a 3-pointer that seemed to force Jordan and the Bulls into an inevitable game 7 in Utah. But in reality, it set into motion a series of events that led to the crowning jewel of the Bulls' dynasty. Running on fumes with whatever energy he has left in the final 41 seconds, Michael Jordan, like he has his entire career, delivered with the single greatest sequence in sports history.
Push off.
Michael working on Russell.
Oh no, that's not even the play. I'm
Brings
bugging.
them to
Good
within
lay.
1.
They scored within 4 seconds there. That's how quickly that changes now. Now it puts the pressure on the Jazz to score once again.
Jordan with
Alright, so
43.
oh come on, Steve Kerr. Lot down. Handshake.
Malone is
Give me
They
that.
swat at it and steal it.
They're not gonna lie, that's L teammates for not even warning him that MJ was behind him. Wherever his teammates are, that's L.
Here comes Chicago. 17 seconds. 17 seconds from game 7 or from championship number 6. Jordan.
Come here.
Open.
Pull up. Splash.
Timeout, Utah. 5.2 seconds left. Michael Jordan running on fumes with 45 points.
If this was in a movie, you wouldn't believe it. The greatest player in the history of the game with the ball down by 1 breaks his defender's ankles and perfectly swishes home the jumper to get his team 5 seconds away from their second three-peat and 6th championship in 8 years. But it wasn't just the shot either. It was the tough banker off glass into a crucial steal on the opposing team's best player that led to the iconic shot. It was absolute perfection. In the final 41 seconds, no other player on the Bulls touched the ball.
He
It
made
was
no
all
touch
empty.
earth.
With all the pressure of this being the last gasp of Chicago's dynasty and Jordan's final moments in a Bulls uniform, he sealed it in storybook fashion with his 45th point of the night. It is, in my opinion, the greatest moment in the history of basketball. But I must mention that there's still 5 seconds left. Utah's coming out of their timeout down by 1. One shot can send this series to a 7th game. Either we're going 7 or Michael Jordan's final moment in a Chicago
I've actually never seen what happened after the shot.
uniform is a masterpiece.
Stopped it. Harper's on him. Behind
Pull
the
up.
screen. Harper got a piece of it. It comes
Ooh.
off. The Chicago Bulls
Nah, that was mad close.
have won their 6th NBA championship, and it's their second three-peat.
That was mad close. That's
Maybe
okay,
it's my fault.
John.
Maybe I led you to believe it was easy,
Easy.
when it wasn't.
Mm,
Maybe I made you think my highlights started at the free throw line and not in the gym.
facts.
Maybe I made you think that every shot I took was a game winner, that my game was built on flash and not fire. Maybe it's my fault that you didn't see that failure gave me strength, that my pain was my motivation.
Or maybe you just making
Maybe I led you to
excuses.
believe that basketball was a God-given gift and not something I worked for every single day of my life. Maybe I destroyed the game.
Mm.
Or maybe you're just making excuses.
Jordan. Open.
Splash.
Chicago with the lead.
The Chicago Bulls have won their first ever NBA championship. Chicago Bulls have won the NBA championship for the second straight season. Chicago Bulls have won 3 straight NBA championships. The Chicago Bulls have won the 96
Oh, why is it lagging? Come on, computer.
The Chicago Bulls have won their 6th NBA championship, and it's their second.
Bro, what's going on? It's the end of the video.
NBA Finals. MVP Michael Jordan.
Ah, WVID, bro. Facts. Nah, post 2K is tough. Occasion clutch. Yeah. Jordan was in. Jordan was in. Not gonna lie. I can't imagine like being alive during this time. Thank y'all for watching, for whoever watched. Made it this far. If you didn't make it this far, like the video. Subscribe, please, if you want to. I would really appreciate it. Alright.